What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 10 things you didn't know about Forrest Gump. This is a new series we're doing.
It is.
Along with obviously the movie reactions. I mean, if you don't know, where have you been? Because I mean, Forrest Gump has done amazing, so thank you so much. And all the kind comments, everyone has been so supportive of the comments. I edited that one. Chance, if you be able to tell the difference when Chance edits stuff, it's a lot better. There's a lot more graphics. When I edit, it's pretty basic, but I try my best. We're moving all the movies over from the movie channel, which is why Forrest Gump was on the channel. We did this series for The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And you guys enjoyed it on the movie channel. But obviously, Princess Bride will be coming over in maybe a month or so. So that will come as well with the 10 things.
Yeah.
That was 10 things you missed. This is 10 things you didn't know. We kind of just search and whichever one's available. Yeah. So if it's missed, we'll do missed because we're like, oh my god, I did miss that. No, like didn't know. We'll just get a bit more info on the movie, I guess, isn't it? You ready for this?
I am.
I enjoyed the last one. Enjoyed Forrest Gump. Absolutely loved it. Again, like I say, the comments we've seen over the past day have been absolutely awesome. So thank you so much. And what a movie!
It was a good movie. Very good movie.
Definitely. And now we're gonna get a little bit more information on it. You ready?
I am ready.
Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button, and let's check out 10 things you didn't know about Forrest Gump. What have we got?
The mind of Forrest Gump may seem like a simple one, but it's a mind that goes a long way, with many fascinating stories to tell. In 1994, Tom Hanks starred as Forrest Gump in the movie of the same name directed by Robert Zemeckis, where we meet an innocent and kind-hearted man called Forrest, who is waiting at a bus stop. Although Forrest seemingly has a low IQ, throughout the tales of his life it becomes apparent that Forrest has lived a life like no other. From his upbringing as a small child with braces on his legs in 1950s Alabama, to becoming a college football star, to a war hero, to a ping pong champion, and even a shrimp boat captain.
He's such an
Forrest lives his life through the notion of life being like a box of chocolates. But despite his amazing life experiences, Forrest's story mainly revolves around his one true love, Jenny, a childhood friend with a sad and tragic past who always seems to turn to Forrest when she's in need of help. Seriously, has anyone else noticed that? But despite this, his love for her is still unconditional.
I absolutely love it. It's so cute, isn't it?
So today we are going to eat a box of chocolate and see what we're gonna get, as we look into 10 things that you didn't know about Forrest Gump.
I'm ready.
The movie that teaches us stupid is a stupid does. So let's check it out.
Oh, I will say, by the way, accent, I guess, misinterpretation. I did see a comment which I need to reply to. It did make me laugh because apparently the feather has something to do with Back to the Future. Or there's a connection there. And I just said, I reckon we're going to come back to this in the future. But with my accent, I think it was hard. So they thought I was making a reference to Back to the Future, which I haven't actually seen. So they think I'm a genius. I can't remember which comedy word, but you think I'm a genius picking up this small detail. That I'm a movie critique. No, it was just a miscommunication. I'll take the credit, but it was miscommunication.
My given name is Benjamin Buford Blue. People call me Bubba.
My name's Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump.
Number 10, based on a book.
A lot of people have said the book's amazing.
Read the book,
Forrest Gump is based on a book also called Forrest Gump, which was published in 1986 and written by author Winston Groom. And just as with the movie, it's the story of a man with a low IQ whom has had many interesting life experiences. But there are several jaw-dropping changes between the book and movie. For example, the book explains exactly what happened to Forrest Gump's father, in which he died after being squashed by a crate of bananas that were being uploaded from a boat. And in the book, Forrest's life achievements also involve Forrest as a chess player, a professional wrestler called the Dunce, a Hollywood stuntman, and even an astronaut with NASA.
A lot in a short lifetime.
Just imagine Forrest Gump in space. And if the...
Let us know in the comments, is that on top of the ones we've seen in the book? Because a lot of people did say to check out the book, which we definitely can do, obviously in our own time. But that's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things to achieve, which is
stuff
a good
is done.
thing, but...
Plus that's like, how do you fit that into a lifespan? Do you know what I mean?
The novel couldn't get any weirder. It also has Forrest Gump befriending a chimpanzee called Sue. Forrest himself is much more prone to profanity in the book and is not as kind-hearted. And also, not to mention, the book has a very morbid ending. I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but if you're curious, just check out the book for yourself.
Oh, so it's different, man.
Number 9,
Okay.
Travolta Gump. Tom Hanks plays Forrest Gump with a pure, kind and humble sweetness. You really feel the innocence that Hanks puts into the part, and you can't help but really care about the character and want him to succeed. He could be kind, funny, charming and childlike all at once, so it's hard to imagine anyone else but Hanks in the role. However, in the movie's early production days, John Travolta was considered to play the role of Gump, which would have been very interesting, but he turned the role down. Forrest Gump's author, Winston Groom's pick to play the part was John Goodman, but nothing came of it. And Bill Murray was then offered the role along with Chevy Chase, but both actors said no. Sean Penn claims that he was also approached for the role, but it was Tom Hanks who landed the iconic part. As for other roles in the movie, Joe Pesci was considered for Lieutenant Dan, but Gary Sinise landed the role, and Ice Cube and Dave Chappelle were offered the part of Gump's Vietnam War friend Bubba, before Michael T. Williamson got the part.
Oh, Bubba.
Bubba.
Number 8, historical light.
Because you never know, I mean, everyone, like, from watching it is like, oh my god, Tom Hanks nailed that. Perfect actor for it.
I don't know who was asked before.
Yeah, you don't know who was asked before, and you don't know if they'd have done it. Would we have all said the same? You never know. Obviously, Tom Hanks is a perfect actor for it, and he nailed it.
But how do we know that Travolta wasn't the perfect?
Would it have been a completely different movie?
We wouldn't know, would we?
You wouldn't know, but Tom Hanks could nail it. You know what I mean? Let's have my thoughts on that one. I do think Tom Hanks is probably the best actor for it, though, because it was, I mean, what a movie.
Yeah.
But you just never know what
You never know. It
could
have been worse.
Could have been perceived
Could have been
completely
better.
different with
don't know.
the way they acted. You know what I mean? It could have been completely
I think
different.
he did a great job.
Oh, great job.
Light and magic. The special effects for Forrest Gump were provided by Industrial Light and Magic, and although Forrest Gump doesn't at all look like a special effects movie, that makes the special effects even more spectacular, as Forrest Gump really pushed technical boundaries as we see Forrest interact with many historical figures, such as John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon.
Wow, you
Most
never
of this
know
was
about
achieved by
CGI.
manipulating old footage and splicing it with footage filmed for the movie.
Wow.
For example, the scene where Forrest meets John Lennon on the Dick Cavett Show was achieved by using actual footage of Lennon on the show when he appeared on it in 1971. And even Dick Cavett himself filmed some scenes for the movie with himself in makeup looking how he did in 1971. I think it helped that the movie was directed by Robert Zemeckis, as before directing Forrest Gump, he directed Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Back to the Future Part 2.
Again, not
Both
seen them,
movies
but...
pushed the way for special effects technologies, with actors acting to other characters being inserted into the same frames.
Okay.
Then there was the issue of Lieutenant Dan's legs, of which in some scenes his legs were merely painted out the picture.
Wow.
I can remember having huge arguments with my parents, who insisted that the actor really had no legs, and that there was no way a movie can make someone's legs disappear. To which I was like, no, he's a well-known actor called Gary Sinise. I mean, he had just starred in the Stan TV miniseries. Trust me, he has legs. And, well, they thought I was an idiot. Ha, well, who looks like the idiot now?
I mean, for that
Number
time,
7,
that's great
deleted
technology to do it.
There are several cutscenes that didn't make it into the final film of Forrest Gump, one of which sees Forrest Gump meeting Martin Luther King, in which he mistakes a civil rights march for a parade, and another scene where Forrest plays ping pong with George H. Bush, where Gump even hits the ping pong ball into the crotch of George H. Bush, which would have made for a very interesting scene.
Yeah.
Both the scenes were made available on subsequent Forrest Gump DVD and Blu-ray releases. However, some well-known scenes had to be cut for certain TV broadcasts, as the Shit Happens scene had to be changed to It Happens when it was shown on ABC.
Oh, wow.
And even here in Australia, when shown on TV, cuts
Makes
had to be
sense.
made, mainly revolving around the Jenny character, particularly the character using drugs at a nightclub and then standing on a rooftop. Number 6, Forrest Gump started a real food restaurant chain. Okay, this is for ones outside the States. In Forrest Gump, we see Forrest start a shrimp boating business called Bubba Gump Shrimp, as a promise to his ill-fated friend Bubba, who wanted to be a shrimp boat captain. However, Bubba Gump Shrimp actually became a real thing, as Paramount Pictures then licensed the brand into a chain of restaurants.
I knew that was a real thing.
I swear, I mean, I can't remember if we mentioned it in the reaction, but we knew Bubba Gump shrimp.
Yeah, I'm sure I knew. I thought it was
Bubba shrimp. Yeah, we didn't know the gump bit in the middle, which I think kind of threw us off a little bit.
But I knew there was something called that.
And then the question was whether it was before
if it was
or
linked
after.
or whatever, yeah.
And it's obviously after. That's pretty sick. I don't know where I've heard of it before, but I definitely heard of Bubba
When
shrimp.
we went to New York, we were searching restaurants and I remember seeing it.
There you go. But I didn't know, like you didn't. The gump in the middle threw me off completely. I didn't know.
First Bubba Gump Shrimp opened in 1996 in California, and there are now 29 restaurants spread out all over the world in locations such as London, Indonesia, and Hong Kong, to name but a few.
Wow.
Also, actor Chris Pratt got his first big break when he was discovered by a director while working as a waiter at a Bubba Gump Shrimp in the year 2000.
That's pretty cool.
So, if there was no Forrest Gump, that means there would be no Bubba Gump Shrimp, which means no Chris Pratt. Wow, Forrest Gump really was a movie that went a long way. Number 5, The Story of Elvis.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Early on in Forrest Gump, we see young Forrest meet Elvis Presley, who was playing hound dog to the young boy, where Forrest starts doing his funny jingle with his legs, which led to the Elvis hound dog dance.
Hey man, show me that crazy little walk you just did there.
The part of Elvis was played by Peter Dobson, who would go on to play Ray in The Frighteners. He just had his face blurred in order to hide his features and make him look more like Elvis. However, it's the voice of Elvis that makes the story more interesting, as famed actor Kurt Russell actually provided the voice for Presley for that scene.
Wow.
Yep, Russell, a big-time Hollywood actor, just provided those few lines in order to give Elvis sound. And this wasn't the first time the actor played Elvis either, as he also played the King for a 1979 made-for-TV movie which was directed by John Carpenter.
Supper's ready if y'all want to eat.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you, man.
Number 4, Mandela Effect and a Box of Chocolates.
Okay.
Forrest Gump is often cited as being proof that the Mandela Effect is real. For those who don't know, the Mandela Effect is a conspiracy theory that reality as we know it is being changed and distorted, with many people now having false or distorted memories.
Okay.
The argument is that everyone remembers Forrest Gump saying life is like a box of chocolates. After all, it's one of the most well-known sayings associated with the movie. But if you watch the movie, he actually says life was like a box of chocolates.
Okay.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh yeah, I want to know what I said, because I'm going to watch out the reaction back. By the way, the link to the Forrest Gump reaction will be the top link in the description. I did it at the start because I'd heard of that saying before. Be interested to see what I said.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I said, but it'll be
remember.
interesting. I think I said is.
With many claiming that not only in the past was it life is like a box of chocolates, with it now randomly changing to was like a box of chocolates, but saying was like a box of chocolates doesn't even make sense as it's speaking in past tense.
True.
So what do you guys
Let us know
think?
in the comments.
Has reality been distorted with it now saying life was like a box of chocolates, where in actual fact originally it was life is like a box of chocolates? Or this whole time have movie audiences just been misquoting the film? Who knows?
But
the irony is
they do say it multiple times.
Yes, and
Does
maybe...
he say was every time?
No, maybe it says it different.
I'm gonna say.
That's at the end. That's technically the end of the movie, isn't it? That bit on the bench.
Yeah.
So maybe she's saying was because his mum
Oh no,
died.
that was a start. That was a start, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we went back to it at the end.
Yeah. Yes, we went back to
So
the
maybe
end.
that's what I mean. Maybe because his mum died, she's saying it
Maybe.
was like a box of chocolates at the end. Because she's not going to say life is like a box of
This
chocolates.
is making me want to watch
if
Forrest
she's-
Gump
if
again.
she's died, is she?
No, definitely. I want to watch
It would
Forrest
be
Gump
in
again.
past tense.
Yeah.
So I wonder if at the start of the movie when they were saying it,
It might be was, and then it goes is throughout the rest of the movie to the end.
and then was because that technically that first bit on the bench is technically the end.
Yeah, you legends will know. Let us know in the comments. I'm definitely watching the reaction back, by the way. I'm definitely watching the movie back one day.
the saying itself is about the unsure uncertainties of life and existence. Number 3, Sally Field's age. In Forrest Gump, Sally Field plays Forrest's mother, Mrs. Gump, the one true person who believed in her son from the start and wanted to see him get his fair go in life.
Yeah.
The irony of this being Sally Fields is only 10 years older than Tom Hanks, and at the time of filming, Fields would have been 47 and Hanks would have been 37.
Wow.
What makes this situation even weirder is that several years earlier in 1988, Hanks and Fields starred as a husband and wife couple in the comedy movie Punchline.
They had a connection
And
together
yeah,
then.
watching Punchline after Forrest Gump feels weird after seeing them as mother and son. Speaking of family relations, One of the little girls on the school bus who doesn't want young Forrest to sit next to her was played by Tom Hanks's real-life daughter.
Oh,
and
wow.
several shots of Forrest running in the movie was performed by Hanks's brother, Jim Hanks. Although they probably should have gotten Jim Hanks to perform the scenes where Forrest was playing football too, as apparently while filming those scenes, Hanks had really terrible flu. Number 2. Directing Gump.
Okay.
Acclaimed director Robert Zemeckis directed Forrest Gump, and given his experience of directing spectacular special effects heavy movies with depth and character development, he seemed perfect for the job.
Yeah.
And it's one of his greatest achievements, right up there with Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And given that his films often explore Americana in different periods of time, he would have had the perfect knowledge to explore the story of Forrest Gump as it looks into America from the 1950s to 1980s.
Okay, so he's
However,
actually
before he got
experienced
the gig
it.
as director of Forrest Gump, visionary director and former Monty Python Terry Gilliam was also offered the director's seat, but he wasn't interested. Then, future Men in Black director Barry Sonnenfeld was also offered the chance to direct, but he turned down Forrest Gump in favour to direct Addams Family Values instead.
Oh, I've never heard of. I don't know if that's a good movie or not, but if you have a director who's like, again, we don't know if it had been the same, if it had done as well, but you kind of think, oh, missed out on a big one there. Do you know what I mean? If they've gone on and done other things, they ain't exactly done bad for themselves.
No.
But you still got to think, oh, I missed out. I can't believe I missed out on Forrest
think
Gump.
how big it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 1. There is a sequel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Is it?
For years, there have been whispers of a Forrest Gump sequel, with the story now focusing on Forrest Gump Jr., who was played by Haley Joel Osment in the movie, with many claiming the next movie will feature a now adult Osment reprising the role. However, there was already a Forrest Gump sequel, with the book Gump & Co., which was published in 1995 and written by original Forrest Gump author Winston Groom.
Oh, wow.
The story even starts off as a sort of middle finger to the movie, where Gump says, "Don't never let nobody make a movie of your life story."
Wow.
The sequel is kind of downbeat, as we see Bubba Gump's shrimp collapse, where Forrest has to take up a job as a janitor, where he tries his hand at football again, along with being a door-to-door salesman and even getting a job with Coca-Cola. The story is an interesting read for, if anything, to try and discover exactly what happens next in Forrest Gump's life. But that said, I don't feel like there needs to be a theatrical
it doesn't
sequel,
need to be anything
as Forrest
else.
Gump beautifully wraps everything up. I feel like the novel to Forrest Gump ends with the possibility of a sequel, whereas the film does not. Anyway, that was my look into Forrest
There you
Gump.
go. That was good. Enjoyed
That
that.
was good, yeah.
First time I checked out his channel. He's obviously enthusiastic about it as well, which was awesome. Yeah, I don't think there needs to be a sequel.
No, but I like to read the books.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, when we go on holiday, not that we're going on holiday anytime soon, we've got a baby coming. But I suppose with the baby, for baby sleeping, you've got a lot of time off, haven't you? You could read them. Be interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
Would be interesting. A lot of people said to read the first book. No one mentioned the sequel until now. Let us know in the comments if we should check out the sequel. That would be interesting. But we definitely should check out the book.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't think there should be a sequel movie. Not because I don't want
No,
one.
I just think it did its job.
Yeah, because I feel like if you get another, and then you could
Sometimes
potentially
they're not as
taint,
good.
not as good, and everyone thinks, oh, remember Forrest Gump? Oh yeah, the second. It will always be, oh
Yeah.
yeah, but the second one was rubbish,
Yeah.
and it will kind of taint the first one a little bit. You know what I mean? Because everyone will always watch the second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let us know in the comments what you guys thought. Smash that button, smash that subscribe button. If you enjoy us doing these 10 things you didn't know or 10 things you missed, let us know in the comments below. I know it feels like movies are taking over the channel. We're still doing our normal reactions. We've got Tex-Mex from Jolly coming out tonight. The Office will be coming out as well on the channel. And then this video will only be after the movie, which will be every 4 or 5 days or something like that, won't it?
Yeah.
Smash that button, guys. Smash that subscribe button and watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
And we'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.